The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
Aloha. Hey, Gary, are we the only ones going on the air today without Star Wars music?
Mm-hmm.
It is Star Wars Day, right? That's what I heard correctly? And
right.
That means May the 4th be with you.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to get that out there and get that over with because you know how I am when I get close to the deadline of getting off the air. I didn't want to be able to say, and we're gone. So anyway, again, aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, where each week you'll find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support those with needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. For those of you who may be listening for the first time to this weekly show, during this hour we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they are changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. Today we're going to start out the show talking to Richard Yost, who's the Executive Director of the Maui Food Bank.
Yeah, good afternoon, Susie.
How are you, Richard?
Oh, just grand to be here.
Hey, you and I go back a little while, huh?
Yes, we do. I'm going on past 11 years now at the food bank.
Right.
I've known you longer than that, I believe. Yeah.
I think so, yes. My time with nonprofits has hit 12 years, so
See?
I'm just a half a step ahead of you. We're talking with the food bank. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things. But first, I think I'd like to give a shout out to the Kula ARP, who this last weekend, Saturday, had a shredding event over at Access, whatever the name of the company is, the shredding, people that shred documents and papers that you don't want anybody to get their hands on after the number of years you need to keep them for the IRS or whoever. And quite a successful event, I'm being told.
Yeah, what a great way for a local business to give back. They were creative and used the help of AARP to allow people to come in and do shredding for free.
Right, for free. That was the big piece.
Yeah, and what it did, and people in turn gave donations to the Maui Food Bank, not only cash but also food donations.
Right, and we just saw you get the envelope with. What was it, over $500 in cash from, 4 hours in the morning, 8 to 12, I think.
Yeah, I think it was only an 8 to noon event, which worked out well. They had, I believe, seven people working it. 150 some odd people came out and did free shredding. What a great opportunity for people to get something done and to make a donation to the food bank, which helps such a great cause.
And they also collected canned goods and dry goods for you.
Yeah, they brought in canned goods. Over 500 pounds of canned goods came in. And,
wow.
And food, which is obviously desperately needed this time.
That's to me, that's just awesome. 4 hours of time, and the food bank gets 500 pounds of food and over $500 in cash to buy the food they can't collect, that they have to go out and buy. And just think, if everybody did that, 4 hours, 150 people through the line or whatever they had out there. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's real simple for businesses to get creative. There's many different avenues that you can do to have a food drive, and we love for businesses to get involved because not only are they helping their business, but they're helping the community. They're helping people who are needy in this community, and such a basic need as food. Nobody should have to go hungry, and we want the community to get involved. And so, if anybody has any questions about how their business could help out the food bank, is just give us a call, 243-9500, and you're more than welcome to learn more about our programs and learn how we can help you out.
And that's a big shout out to Access for doing this free event for the community, which brings in money and food for the food drive. It's a win-win-win.
Win. For everyone, yes.
You don't often get those kind of things. So now, last week you also had a your big spring food drive at the grocery stores, right?
Yeah, Susie, we were at 20 stores this past last weekend throughout Maui here, and that was manned by all kinds of different service clubs. 16 different clubs and service organizations came out and manned those stores for us. What a great event, both Saturday and Sunday, and certainly we 250 plus volunteers helped us out this past weekend, and it raised more than $14,000 and over 16,000 pounds of food. Yeah, that's 8 tons of food.
That's incredible.
I know, in one weekend. So again, that's the community coming out, getting involved, wanting to help out others.
And because it was Saturday and Sunday, nobody worked long hours kinds of things.
No, most of them were 2-hour shifts.
Wow.
Yeah, and so a service club or your youth organization or whatever, they would just keep taking turns every couple hours. A new group would come in and just man it for another 2 hours. And sure enough, when it's all said and done, it adds up to be a lot of food.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you think realistically, a lot of times it's that Saturday and Sunday that we go shopping at the grocery store. So it makes sense that you would go work out front of a grocery store for a couple hours, go in and buy your groceries and drop off a couple things on the way by again.
Yeah.
And then head home. And
Yeah.
it's done.
Again, it's a win-win-win for everyone. The stores also benefit from it too, because they're able to sell products, and move a little bit more merchandise. So it helps, helps out our local economy as well. So it's again,
Right.
it's
when events like that take place, I always enjoy watching people who bring the kids along and kind of share the whole event experience, if you will, with the kids. What a great education for the kids to learn for their future. We've always talked about bringing them with you to vote, how that gets them in the right mode for the future. But here's another opportunity to show them community service is all kinds of things. And I especially like the ones who say, well, let's go in and buy a case of something. Usually it's those, what are they called?
We don't want to talk about those.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, we won't talk about
we're
those.
on a healthy mode.
Oh, okay.
That's
All
right.
Okay, so it's been a while. I obviously haven't made the transition.
Things evolve, Susie. The food bank has evolved into being a nutrition.
That's cool.
Yeah, we enacted a nutrition initiative a couple of years ago to inspire people to donate higher quality products that are more nutrient dense. We like tuna packed in water, fruits that are canned in light syrup. Vegetables that are in low salt. If you do donate Spam, low salt Spam.
Okay.
So less processed foods, more wholesome foods, and we're seeing a difference in the clients that our 120 plus agencies serve, which is over 10,000 people a month.
Wow.
The clients are now asking for this nutrient, this better quality.
Right.
Foods, and because I think they're feeling better. They're having less medical problems. They're already suffering, the harms of being low income in the first place. But if they can start eating better, they're going to start feeling better.
Right.
Which means that they maybe become more productive. They can. So we're trying to end that cycle of hunger. And so we adopted the initiative a couple years ago, and it's been a great success.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We should have had you on last week with the nutritionist from the Pacific Cancer Foundation, because she was trying to show me how to get more nutritious food and eat it and so on and so forth. So everybody's working on me with this thing. I think they're trying to tell me something, and sooner or later it's going to get through this thick skull of mine that I need to make some changes. But I mean, that is great, because that was always one of the things that a lot of people said, was that people who can't afford good food eat the worst food because that's what they can afford. And what you're saying now is, hey, you're coming into the food bank, you're getting food that is good for you. And so as they transition out of that need for the food bank food, and can start buying their own, hopefully they'll continue that.
Yeah, we've realized that the trend ends to stay with people because they are feeling better about themselves. They're feeling and so they've worked their way out of the food bank lines, and they are now on their own, sort of say, and they are now looking for more produce, more fruits, more all the items I talked about earlier that. People, I think it's a learning curve, and for many of the people, they were not raised that way.
Right.
And so we're helping teach them you can eat better. There are choices, and you will feel better, in fact, if you do.
That's wonderful. Wow. So you've added another dimension to your business over there.
Yeah, we, our whole produce recovery program, which started also a few years ago. Last year, we really topped the charts. Nearly 500,000 pounds of fresh produce was reclaimed and passed out to the needy people in this on Maui, Molokai, and Lanai. 'Cause we do support the entire county, and it's a wonderful sight to see when these people are anxious to see a head of cabbage. These people can't necessarily go out and buy this, and for them to get that and be able to prepare it and do something with it and know that they're eating something that's fresh, that's wholesome, it makes a world of difference.
Right.
And fresh lettuce and tomatoes and
Now
mushrooms.
You
and all
used
these
the
things.
term reclaimed. Can you explain where we're going with that?
Yeah, a lot of our, especially on the produce and on the food side of things, on the non-perishable side of things, is products that would normally have possibly ended up into the recycling or into the dump, and so as part of our program to keep food out of there, although it's completely wholesome, completely safe, and highly nutritious, we came to the realization that food should be coming to us first. Let us go through it. We'll determine, the sustainability of this food and whether or not it can be passed on in the food, down the food line. And sure enough, last year, prime result of that, almost 500,000 pounds
Wow.
of food was of produce. That's just produce and fresh fruits and
Right.
vegetables. And the wholesalers buy a tremendous amount of this product. They can't always distribute it all. So what do they do with the extra? Well, they used to throw it away.
Oh,
And unfortunately, a great deal of this product is imported, and they're spending a lot of money to get the product here. We're able to save that product and pass it down the food line, and make sure that these people can eat decent, wholesome meal.
right. So when it comes to the local produce, we're talking about the things that maybe the stores require that a tomato be a certain size, perfect shape, perfect redness, all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot out there in the fields that's not going to quite make that. But it's just as nutritious as the rest of it.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And we encourage, any farmer out there or any wholesaler or grower or even a home garden, if you have more than you can use, bring it to the food bank. We will make sure it gets to the right people and gets to the mouths of the hungry.
When you say that, I think of bananas because
Yes.
the whole bunch is ripe at one time, and most families, they hand it out to the neighbors and relatives and so forth. But there's always some left. Now I know those of you who love banana bread are going to get on me for this, because you're going to take it and you're going to put it in a freezer and you're going to make that banana bread down the road. But for others, taking the rest of that. That's not a stalk. What is that called?
A bunch.
Okay, of bananas over to the food bank.
Yeah, bring it by. We have a lot of local people with backyard gardens or trees who bring us food. They bring us avocados, tangerines, lemons, limes, bananas. The list goes on and on. Breadfruit, all those items, and it all goes to good families.
That's terrific. Wow, so many ways you can give to the food bank.
It's amazing. Yeah,
Isn't it, though? Yeah. Now, one of you just not too long ago, or I guess coming up, you've got the Association of Letter Carriers.
Yeah, Susie, this is our largest day of the year. We will bring in close to 50,000 pounds of food in one day. We're grateful to have the ROTC from Baldwin High come in with all their 120 plus kids to help sort it all, box it all, put it all on pallets, put it away to help get us through the summer. But we count on this day to kind of carry us through the summer. And so what we encourage everyone to do is put out a bag of food. You'll see a blue bag. You don't have to use the blue bag, and put it out your mailbox on Saturday the 14th. The mail carriers from all over the island are collecting that food. It all comes to our warehouse, and literally in 3 hours, we sort through 40,000 plus pounds of food and have it all boxed and put away.
I can't imagine the sight of that. That's just got to be awesome.
It's complete organized chaos. You've never seen a sight.
On that note, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we're back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofit executive directors to find out what they are doing to help those with needs within our community. And right now we're talking story with Rich Youst, who's the executive director of the Maui Food Bank. I'm so impressed with how the community, the community gives a can or two or three or four or a bag full. And that creates a small truckload, that creates a semi-load, and then you're talking about here on the day when the national letter carriers do their thing, semis back up that are full of food.
Yeah, it's an amazing sight. When you hear that semi backing up and you hear the beep, beep, beep of their backup siren going off, you know it's time to hit the ground running, because the food is coming in, and it's coming in fast. And but it's an amazing sight to see. It's great to see the community step up and the letter carriers. Here you got a federal national organization that's stepping up. And this is national. I mean, we're talking letter carriers all over the U.S. are doing this on this one day.
One day.
Yeah, it's an amazing sight.
That's just incredible. And I think that the fact that it's so easy for people to do this, you look in your closet and you see you've got this. Hey, I bought that a couple months ago thinking I might like to try it. And it's non-perishable. And so you say, I probably won't. So you put it in there. And I mean, there's probably somebody out there that just is going to have the meal of a lifetime because you put that in that bag.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for folks to also go through your pantry. It's a great time to get rid of some products that have been sitting in your pantry maybe for a while. We have a whole separate product dating book that we can go by. So even though it may say expired on the can, not necessarily has that food lost its wholesomeness or its safety. So, and that's what, we take a lot of pride in making sure that all of our products are inspected. And we use this dating book to know that many of the products can actually stay on the shelf for some of it even years past that expiration date. We're part of the Feeding America network of food banks around the country. And they're the ones who put out this. They work with the manufacturer. So the manufacturers tell them the drop dead date of when this product is no longer absolutely going to be of any good. And we have other things that we go by as well, as far as the outside of the can and that sort of thing as well, to know if it's still wholesome or not. Yeah.
I'll bet you very seldom get stuff like that, though, that's outdated during one of these food drives.
You'd be surprised. No,
really?
No.
They really do go through their closet.
They do go through their closet. Stuff's been sitting on the shelf for a while, and also for people who are who put together disaster kits and that sort of thing. It's a good time of the year, folks. Go through your disaster kit. It's been sitting there for almost maybe a year, maybe 8-9 months. Go through it. Bring in donate those canned goods at the letter carriers food drive, and restock. It's a great,
Good point.
great opportunity.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Very good point. Okay, and then the other event that we had talked about a little bit was the Restaurant Week in Wailea.
Yeah, this is a great event. It happens twice a year. The Restaurant Week, this year, 17 restaurants in Wailea are getting together, and they'll offer a special menu. And part of and it's usually a 3-course entree or a 3-course meal. And as part of you purchasing that special menu item, is a portion of those proceeds come to the Maui Food Bank. And with 17 restaurants, they do it twice a year, again in November. And I believe it raises $6,000-$7,000 each time that they do this. It's an amazing event. It's a great opportunity to go out to your local restaurant in Wailea, and you can eat some fantastic food and help the community along the way. So while you're eating your great meal, you know that someone a little less fortunate than yourself is also getting a meal.
Getting a meal. That's great. And it is a week. It's a full week.
A full week.
Wow. May 22nd to May 28th, I think, is what we were talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible. And you think about all the different programs you have. I mean, now, it used to be that people went straight to the food bank to get food for themselves. Now they go to usually another site, whether it be a social service organization site or office or
or faith-based.
Faith-based, right?
There's pantries, there's soup kitchens, there's youth programs. I mean, the list goes on and on. We partner right now with, I believe, about 126 agencies around Maui County. That includes 6 on Lanai and 26 plus on Molokai. Oh, wow. And so we're shipping food to those neighbor islands each and every month, and so that they can help serve their clients that attend their particular program.
Help me out here, but it seems like the need is growing.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate. I don't know if it's a chain of events, but it's just unfortunate. Somebody's always in need, and right now we're starting to maybe see some of the signs of some of the layoffs that are starting to happen around the island. But we are seeing an increased need. Our numbers, skyrocketed in 2008 when the recession, but we haven't seen a decline. And actually, now we're starting to see even a little bit of an uptick.
Oh, it never went down.
It never went down from the 2008 top.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I think what's happening is the cost of living has continued to increase. Wages have not increased.
Right.
And so many of the clients that are served don't have money left at the end of the month to buy food. And guess what? The only thing that you can cut out of your budget is food. I mean, you still got to keep the lights on. You still got to pay your rent if you're not living out of a car or on the beach or something like that. And there's no money left. You can pay your utilities. There's no money left.
Right.
So the only thing you can cut out of your budget is your food budget. And so guess what? They have nothing left. And and for me, I have a passion in feeding kids. I want to make sure that no child goes hungry. And so we have a lot of youth programs to make sure, and they're consistently expanding. We actually are starting a new youth program this summer, and that's the summer youth feeding program. And we're going to just start it small. It's a pilot program. We're going to start with just feeding 25 kids during the summer at the Big Brothers Big Sisters, and then we'll see where it goes. It's a federally funded program, not fully, unfortunately, but it is part, like most federal programs, right?
Right.
So we're going to start out small, do it as a pilot, see that check the feasibility of that program, and see if we can continue it to expand it, much like we have with our Aloha Backpack Buddies program, which started in one school just 3 years ago, now in 20 schools, serving over 600 kids a week with our Aloha Backpack program. That provides a backpack full of food for youth who are on the free or reduced lunch program at school. But guess what? A lot of these kids don't have food when they get home for the weekends. So we provide them with a bag full of food for the weekend to take home, and it has 6 meals in it, a couple breakfasts, a couple lunches, and a couple of there's even a evening meal for them in the backpack. We're gonna, this next coming school year, we'll be in our first high school.
Oh my goodness.
And it's hard to believe that high school kids are hungry, but guess what? They are. If any you're a growing kid out there, guess what? You need to eat, and for them to have to skip a meal is a shame.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, physically it's hard. I mean, it's an issue that may not affect them today, but down the road it could. It could. Now you've also got the Fresh for All produce. Well,
Yeah,
we
we
talked
talked
about
we
that.
talked about
That's
that.
the
yeah.
that's the reclaimed. Time is up. I can't believe it.
Oh, Susie, that went by like a blink. I just
Gary,
started.
Gary,
Come on.
did you advance that clock?
It's May the 4th as well.
Oh,
May the
oh,
4th.
that's right. May the 4th be with you.
Okay, I had to start that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You
Well,
asked for it.
Rich,
Yeah.
it's incredible the job you guys are doing, and just I mean, it's hard for us to look around and say there's such a need, because we like to think that everybody is healthy, happy, roof over their heads, have
Well,
a
the-
job
the-
kind of thing, and
yes.
it's just not real.
No, the face of hunger will really surprise you when you really know the people that are hungry. It will really, really surprise you. You just don't know who out there is in need, and it very well might be the person sitting next to you.
There was a commercial that was made, or that was on the air, or well, maybe it's still going, but it's something about, I'm the person that was in the elevator with you this morning. I didn't have breakfast.
That's exactly
or,
right.
Or I didn't have dinner last night, kind of
Or
thing.
the child riding next to your kid on the bus.
Yeah, right.
You don't know that kid ate or not.
Yeah,
No.
and it's a fact of life, but it looks like the community is coming around.
It's
and,
great.
and doing everything they can to help. And I say that, but there's always more that can be done.
Always. So, at any chance you get, give us a call at 243-9500. Get involved. Do a food drive. We're more than happy to help you out any way we can. Or go to our website, and which is mauifoodbank.org. And look for us around town. You'll see our barrels everywhere. And every chance you get, help somebody out in need.
And if you've got room in your waiting room in your office or your business, hey, call and ask for a barrel.
Yeah. And we're always looking for volunteers as well.
Gotcha. Rich, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Susie, thanks again for having me. I
Hey,
always
I
enjoy
tell
being
ya,
here.
And I always enjoy handing over a bag of money. And I thank the Kula for entrusting me with that bag to bring it over. I just, there's so many different ways that we can raise money. And as you said, businesses can pitch in. Great experience, great publicity for them. And sometimes you just never know who you're going to affect and where that next donation
That's right.
money or
You
items
don't know
come
whose
from.
life you can touch with a simple gesture.
Exactly. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks, Susie.
Take care. Okay, we're going to shift gears now. We're going to be talking with Betsy Gunderson, who is, what is your title, Betsy?
I'm head of school at St. Anthony Junior Senior High School.
Head of school.
Yeah.
Okay, is that, well, what did that used to be called? That's not the principal. It's
No,
not
it's just me. I also have a principal.
Right, okay. So,
But as schools are morphing into looking at advancement and advertising and everything else, there's now a position above the day-to-day operations. So Pat Rickard is my wonderful principal, and she manages an awful lot, and then I'm the head of school.
so does that make you like the general manager and she's
Yeah.
the principal? or-
Yes, kind of like that,
Kind
right.
of like that, all
Right.
right. Or the COO or CFO,
Yeah.
or, well, not
Yeah.
CFO, but
No, I wish
CEO.
CFO. CEO.
There you go. Okay. So now at St. Anthony, we have, we're into May already. I can't believe. When we had you on, school was just starting
I
last
think it
year.
was right. I think it was in October.
Yeah.
Where has it gone?
I don't know.
Oh my! I could talk for an hour then of all the things that have happened.
Right, but May is so full of things at the school. And you've got a new middle school coming up. I'd like to hear more about that.
Oh my gosh! Yes, we're so excited. We decided in collaboration with St. Anthony Grade School to form a middle school, and this is, as many people know, this is a very crucial time for young people. It's a transitional time. And so we're putting together grades 6, 7, and 8 in their own building. And we're doing some refurbing this summer, painting and upgrading and more technology in the building we call Marino Hall. And we've got a team of teachers who are very busy talking and bonding and planning, and they are some of my most energetic teachers. They're going to be trained in what we call Tribes Learning Community starting in June, and that is a special way to organize the school to give an environment that is supportive to this age group, that they can learn and be guided throughout their years. They're a little wiggly, and so it's harvesting that energy and turning it into learning that is probably going to be their biggest challenge. But also they have a sense of what is right, what is equitable, trying to help them treat each other well, and just do that, manage their bodies and their growth and their energy as we move forward. They'll still be connected with the high school. And in fact, I think it's our student government will be mentoring the new middle school student government and taking care of them. They will still be involved in some of our activities, but they also need a place of their own.
Right.
So we're just very excited and moving on that immediately.
So up until now, they were just the last 3 years of elementary school.
Exactly. Well, no, they were. We got kids at grade 7, and so what happens in some of the public schools is they finish in grade 5. Many do not want to go back to a grade 6 elementary. So Winona Martinez is the principal at the elementary, and she's been in collaboration with us. And we thought, well, we can form them into one unit, 6, 7, 8, and again, a place of their, a critical place of their own.
Interesting.
And really, they're not just small high school kids, and and so they have very special needs to help in this transitional time.
It's maybe an extra special time. I mean,
it
a lot
is.
of changes going on for them.
A lot of changes, and they think that they're very independent, and they are far more independent than they used to be. On the other hand, they still need guidance, and so we're looking at things to do after school. We were blessed with a Mnpd grant where we could participate in a STEM program. And so we have kids going up to Maui right now, and we're going to continue that. But it's a way to get them involved in things that are just for them.
Interesting.
And it's a neat concept, and all the DOE schools had stopped elementary at grade 5. So, the junior high model, I think, is passé. And again,
Right.
they're not small high school kids.
Right.
They're different. They're growing. They're full of energy, but they're also full of inspiration and enthusiasm. And again, to harvest that and teach them critical thinking and
Betsy's excited about this, isn't she?
Yeah, just a little.
Boy, she's just glowing as she talks about this. This is obviously something you've been thinking about for quite some time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think as passionate as Rich is about feeding kids, I feed their brains. So
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
feed their spirits. Yeah.
There you go. That's a great thing. So that starts in the fall.
Yes, it does.
So is there enrollment going on?
Absolutely, and anyone can call. We're still taking enrollment. In fact, we've already, I think, getting close to exceeding our original goal, but we still have plenty of room. They can call the school at 244-4190 and ask to speak to Art Filazar, who's our admissions director. But anyone can help them, and or they can call me, Betsy Gunderson, and be happy to answer questions about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Boy, that's you made me excited about it,
good.
but I'm not going to go
You
back
don't wanna
to
come
school.
back?
No. I've been
You
there,
could
done
help
that.
paint this summer. We're doing a lot of painting this
Painting.
summer.
You looking for volunteers?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nonprofits out there that do projects like that. So here's the word out to what we got: Lions, Rotary, Kiwanis, all of these folks. Some of the realtors groups, I think, too, do it.
We
Get
could
out.
use help painting, helping teachers relocate. There's a shift in, how a teacher owns their own classroom, but
Right.
some are moving up campus and some are moving down. So it's going to be a very, very busy summer, and we'll take any help. We were helped initially by Colonial Life Insurance on their corporate responsibility day. 100 people came swooping in and built benches and painted classrooms. I think we got 4 classrooms painted.
Wow.
It was just amazing. And then they supported the band's trip to Carnegie. And
we
that
got to
has
talk
happened.
about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Let's take a short break
Okay.
and we'll be back and talk about Carnegie Hall.
All right.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And we are back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes. This afternoon we're talking story right now with Betsy Gunderson, who's the head of school for St. Anthony schools. We have just been talking about the new middle school that they're going to be opening this fall, and she's so excited about that. She's about to jump on the table here. But let's back up now. That's what's coming up. Let's go back a step to what has happened over this school year.
Oh, my gosh.
And I think one of the highlights that you had talked about when you were here in October was the upcoming trip to New York and Carnegie Hall.
Yes. Our band, under the direction of Everett Yamashita, had been invited back for the second time. And
That in itself is something.
That in itself is amazing. 3 years ago, he took a group, and I guess they had such a great experience. This time he expanded it to not only New York, but to Washington, D.C. And they had some major chicken skin moments when they were away. 53 kids plus chaperones and everybody traveled the distance, and for a small school, you know, the band is about 2/3 of our population. So we scheduled spring break because there would be no teaching going on.
Right.
And so they were allowed to travel, and with a lot of parents, a lot of parent help, fundraising, some amazing fundraising that they did. And this thing with the Colonial Life really put the icing on the cake. But they went to Washington, D.C. first. There's a picture of them on our Facebook playing, and you can see the cherry blossoms just starting. And it didn't seem too cold. And they're out there playing in blue sky, absolutely gorgeous. And then they visited a veteran's home. And Everett told me that one of the gentlemen came up to them afterwards. I think he was a former astronaut. I didn't get the name. And he was in tears in thankfulness for their concert in their retirement home.
Now, this was in D.C.
This was in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Then they traveled to New York, and it was much colder, windier. You know, their attire seemed to change. They were all huddled together. But they did go into Carnegie and play, and there's a phenomenal picture of that. Just, you know, a musician's delight. I mean, the most authentic evaluation you can ever have. I mean, it's real, and on the stage at Carnegie.
Wow. Do they get recordings of that?
You know, I'm not sure. I should check on that. Somebody asked. I know parents are asked not to take pictures
Right,
or recordings, and we honor that.
But I thought maybe Carnegie Hall
But
would.
Carnegie might, yeah. There were about 3 other schools, I believe, there too. So it would make sense. I'll need to check on that.
Yeah.
To get back to you on that one.
You know, because I remember back so many years ago when I was in high school and the band got invited to play at different places, that one of the things that our band director always insisted on was that there be a recording made by a professional group each time we played. And then at the end of the year, they took all of those from that year and put them on an album.
That's an awesome idea.
And that became a fundraiser for us.
Right.
For the
right,
next trip.
Right.
And I still have those.
Or just for a memento when they go off to college, they could say, I'm in this, part of their resume. Yep.
Well, I used to, well, I don't anymore, but I used to bore people by saying, my solo's coming up.
I saw that.
My solo's coming up. It was probably, 3 measures,
Yeah.
but, whatever. But it, it
You
just,
can join us anytime. We'll make a guest spot for you.
gotcha. But it just, it's something that reminded you, or when you had those moments when you think, oh, wow, it was really special that year, or this trip was special. There you are. You can play it.
It's very humbling as a former teacher. You want kids to remember absolutely everything you say to them. But if you really think about it, these are the moments of greatest education. You can't bottle it. You can't put it in a textbook. But there were lessons learned in that experience that we just can't replicate in a classroom.
It's true. That's true.
And I learned that once taking a group to Kaho'olawe. It's, the little wiggle worms in my room and out working, to do things on the land and learn everything. I could not have, it was just totally different. So
Yeah.
these experiences, even though you take them away from the day-to-day schoolwork, are amazing. And then working side by side with colonial life as another lesson. Here these people, just the graciousness that the kids learned, the hard work, they organized it, they were the bosses, and then just that bonding that happened with people that had come for vacation and instead came to St. Anthony
Right.
that day. Just that awareness, that somebody's giving them a hand up.
And it's hard to imagine, but somebody told me once that every week there's a major company having a get together here,
Yes.
whether it's a function for those who were the top salespeople
Right.
or whatever.
Yep.
And one of the things they do is they set aside a day to do something in that community.
Yep.
And
Corporate responsibility. That's exactly
yeah.
what it was about.
yeah,
And we thought back and forth. Well, do we give up class time? No. This is learning
Yeah.
at its best. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So, gosh, what else is there to talk about at St. Anthony?
well, we got a concert coming up.
There you go. Okay.
This one's intriguing.
Okay.
There's going to actually be a concert, Uncle Wayne and the Howling Dog Band children's concert that's going to be offered on Wednesday, May 11th. There's going to be 2 shows, 8:45 and 10 a.m., and it's being sponsored by St. Anthony's Preschool along with the band and Hawaii Association for Education of Young Children and JP Harmony Studios. If anyone would like to RSVP for that, because the church center has limited seating, you could call Carlene Santos, who is the director of the preschool, at 242-9024. And I understand that this is one of the best children's family bands around, and it would be great to have lots of people come on campus and enjoy this free event.
Right, that's cool. Uncle Wayne, for those of you who may not be familiar with him, is the storyteller who goes into the libraries and does story hours, and he brings the band along, and they just it's like a jam session each time they get together. You never know what's going to come up and be played, and how they're going to react to each other and the crowd, but they're just, they stay busy. I can't believe how many times they're on a plane headed to Honolulu or Kauai or the Big Island,
Yeah.
as well as being here. So this is a great opportunity, and with 2 sessions, 8:45 a.m. and 10 a.m., everybody especially if you've got small kids that aren't in school yet, take them on over there and check it out. It's another venue outside of the library that you can do this. You've got your book open. You got something coming
Got
up.
something else. We also
Okay.
have summer school, but it's not really summer school. It's not boring summer school. We have a number of camps that we're offering this summer. Entering grades 6 through 8, we've got a makers camp and a robotics camp, and there's a number of them that are offered. You don't have to come to all of them. Be about half-day experiences, and I think about a week at a time. There's also, for the older kids that may be a little boring, but they need this, will be the PSAT and SAT prep
Oop.
class. Yeah, get ready for those tests. But they have a wonderful crew that come in and teach and help the kids really face that challenge with real confidence. And that's really recommended for grades 11 and 12, but they will take younger ones. Then there's also going to be driver's ed. For those, this is a great place for parents not to have to do this task. And we offer driver's ed during the summer, and it's classroom lessons, and they also have the on the road portion. And then there's also going to be, and this is again for those heading off to college, for high school students who want to work on their college application essays. I think it's a 2-week session on essay college writing that they can sign up for. So it doesn't take the whole summer, doesn't mess with some of the other sports things that they have. And we also offer a Hawaiian language and culture, dance and culture class as well. That's going to be a couple weeks long. So there's a lot to offer. If anyone is interested, they can also call the school for more information.
The neat thing about those half-day camps, as you call them, is that if the students have a job that they've taken for the summer, they can work that in.
Right.
Still go at noon or 1 o'clock or whatever the case might be, and do that job and make a little extra money.
Plus, for the younger ones, a lot of them have sports. I know there's baseball and softball in the summer, and volleyball camps and things like that. So it's a way to balance everything.
So when do they go on vacation?
Well, this is vacation.
That is vacation.
We're tricking them.
I see.
We're tricking them.
Well, I know one of my neighbors was saying the other day that his kids are getting so involved in so many different things because one is in middle school and one is in grade school, and with all the activities that are going on during the summer that are available to them, they don't want to say no, because you're kind of only in that age group for a year or two. And yet they want to take that family vacation that they've been doing all these years. And it's kind of like, Dad, I don't know. I really want to do this. Can't we wait and go next year?
Yeah.
And he said, I've never heard my kids say that before.
Well, we opted to do this kind of sort of a cafeteria style this year for that reason, because there are families that do want to take that family vacation. If it was fully academic, you'd have to have the seat time to earn the credit. And we have to have policies in place where you can't leave, but this allows you to kind of pick and choose, and work it with the family schedule that they have. Then there still is about 2 weeks lag time before they go back to school, so our teachers can get a little bit of a vacation.
Gotcha.
But it does give some opportunities to do something, in the summer. Yeah,
that's cool. I like what the schools are doing. They're not being so what cookie cutter or stamped or this is how it is.
Right.
We're the school.
Right.
Yeah. Your life until you're out of the 12th grade revolves around us. You're revolving around them.
Yep. And Tracy Manlansing is our summer programs coordinator, and she's highly creative, and she's a parent herself of younger kids, so she's always looking herself for opportunities for her children, and she brings a tremendous creativity in this environment.
So is enrollment is going on now for the fall, or is it all done?
No, enrollment for school year is rolling enrollment.
Okay.
There's still some room in some of the classes. And then particularly the middle school,
right.
Not a problem, because we've got the expanded facilities down there, so that we have.
So you're looking to grow with not only because of the middle school, but as a whole.
As a whole, yeah.
That's tremendous, because I know a few years ago it wasn't that wasn't the
Right,
case.
right.
So it's great to see you coming back and stronger.
Well,
and
we're
better
doing
than ever.
lots of talking, collaborating, trying to work smarter. We've done market surveys. A lot of the ads you see, we have to give credit to Say Design. She's come in as she and her crew, Ashley Leahy, have come in to work with us. We're going to launch a new web page, a whole collaborative, consolidated web page, probably by the end of this month. We're trying to think of a big ta-da for that. The kids are already excited about it, and my teachers are. And then in the summer, as soon as we get our permit, we will have a state-of-the-art communication and media lab that we can offer to the middle and the high school, a studio.
Wow.
A movie studio. And that has come from some tremendous donations, some foundation grants, as well as individual donations. And we're going to start working that into our program. The videography program and the robotics are two of the fastest growing programs,
I'll bet.
along with band. And the kids do it all. So it's really a school of opportunity sometimes. How they manage it, I don't know. But
That's incredible. You know, again, as you look back over the years, I mean, I think you've come such a long way.
oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I would like to think that a lot of the schools have come a long way in the offerings they have and the things that when the kids are graduating from school, they have so much more experience and knowledge about different things out there that they aren't walking out of there saying, okay, I can either be a teacher or a nurse or maybe a bookkeeper. That's gone.
Engineers, doctors,
You name it. I mean, the world
and
is open to
teachers,
them.
and teachers.
Right. The world is open to them,
Yeah.
and that's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to add,
Yeah.
Rich?
Oh, great learning experience. I learned a lot from this.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're also trying to train kids with that responsibility back to the community. I mean, that part is huge.
Right.
Part of our curriculum. So hopefully they'll also come and help you.
There you go. Great. Thank you, Betsy, for being with us today. Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Please visit our website at mauinonprofit.org for a list of member agencies. Excuse me. And if you find one there that you'd like to find out more about, please click on that website and it'll take you straight to their website so that you can learn more, give them a call, see how you can help them. Today we visited with Richard Yost, who is the executive director of the Maui Food Bank, and learned what they are up to. It's going to be one of those closings, and it's all good. It's all good. And
Always is.
There's so many people out there to feed, and you guys are doing everything you can to get the food to them. That's wonderful, Richard.
Thanks for having me on, Susie.
Thank you. And we talked with Betsy Gunderson, who's the head of school for St. Anthony's Schools, and learned about their trip to Washington, D.C. and Carnegie Hall, and also the upcoming new middle school. Well, that's going to be an exciting adventure.
Yes, thank you.
Almost makes you want to be in the 6th grade again.
Come on back.
I could only do it again.
Yeah. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, and don't forget to join us again next week right here on Wednesday at noon on KAOI Radio, 1110 AM, 96.7 FM, and 96.5 FM on the west side, when we'll be featuring representatives of 2 other member agencies of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. You know what? We have something that I'd like to mention before we go off the air. The Kidney Foundation of Hawaii is having workshops this month. First one is on Meet Your Kidneys, second one nutrition and cooking, third one is physical activity, and 4 stay in tune. Kidney disease is such a big thing here. I encourage everybody to take a look, and it's on the 5th, which is a Thursday, right? Okay, every Thursday
Tomorrow.
during the months of May from 10 to noon. Give them a call at 384-2291. Again, I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a great week. Aloha.
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 Thank you.